Zhao Wuji's large hands became exceptionally heavy, resembling large fans. As Tang San had mentioned, Zhao Wuji hadn't utilized his own soul power before. He hadn't even considered using soul fusion before Zhu Zhuqing sought out his weakest point to strike. In his eyes, as a level 76 soul saint, several soul masters in their 20s were simply too weak. He was just playing around with these kids, moving his body around. However, complacency often comes with a price. It was precisely because of his carelessness, coupled with Tang San and his companion's strength exceeding level 30 due to the amplification of Ning Rongrong's 7-treasure glazed tile pagoda, and their perfect coordination without prior practice, that this immovable Vajra suffered losses. Brushing off the dirt from his head, Zhao Wuji grumbled, Damn it, I'm about to turn 80 before you kids get me killed. Looks like I'll have to get serious with you. Xiaobai, what are you laughing at? Come find me for a real combat lesson tomorrow. Originally sneering at Zhao Wuji's disheveled appearance, Dai Mubai couldn't laugh anymore upon hearing his words. Kids, come on. Let's continue. Zhao Wuji took big strides, heading straight towards Tang San and Xiao Wu's direction. The tacit cooperation between the two had left him with a deep impression. Xiao Wu, meteor hammer. Tang San's low shout rang out. With a tap of her toe on Tang San's shoulder, Xiao Wu once again leaped forward. However, this time, instead of leading with her hands, she led with her feet, aiming straight for Zhao Wuji's head. Simultaneously, dozens of blue silver grass vines surged out from Tang San's body, entangling towards Zhao Wuji from different directions. Zhao Wuji raised his hand to strike Xiao Wu, but before her body reached him, she suddenly changed direction, causing his palm to strike empty air. As she swept past, her foot landed on Zhao Wuji's shoulder. This so-called meteor hammer was a variant of the hidden weapon meteor hammer. Utilizing the entanglement of blue-silver grass, Tang San controlled Xiao Wu's body in midair to launch an attack. Unfortunately, the defense of the opponent they faced, Zhao Wuji, was too formidable. While he lacked special dodging techniques, moving his body was not an easy feat. Conventional hidden weapons were divided into 4 categories: hand-thrown, mechanically shot, whip-style, and medicated spray. Weapons like the meteor hammer, red cage entanglement, and flying claw belonged to the whip-style. Although lacking the mystery of other types of hidden weapons, their attack power and special effects were unparalleled. Zhao Wuji was momentarily stunned by Xiao Wu's kick. Finally, a hint of seriousness appeared in his brown eyes. These kids would be his students in the future. If he let them continue like this, he would lose all face. How could he teach them later? Zhu Zhuqing wasn't idle either. Seeing Zhao Wuji charging towards Tang San and Xiao Wu, both yellow soul rings on her lit up simultaneously. Her blue and green eyes suddenly narrowed, and she silently accelerated forward. Wrapped in soul power, her body soared into the air, spinning rapidly under the cover of soul power, rushing towards Zhao Wuji. Within her spinning figure, countless claw shadows emerged, her second soul ring skill, Nether White Tiger. Leveraging the rapid rotation of her body and the sharp penetrating power of her cat claws, she launched over 100 attacks on the enemy within a very short time, all aimed at the same spot, with astonishing power. At the moment when Xiao Wu kicked Zhao Wuji and Zhu Zhuqing's Nether White Tiger struck his back, a roar suddenly erupted from Zhao Wuji. Cold light burst from his eyes, and he clenched his fists. Among the 7 soul rings on his body, the first yellow soul ring instantly lit up. A strong golden light erupted almost instantly. Zhu Zhuqing, who had used Nether White Tiger, was immediately sent flying, emitting a miserable groan in the air. Dai Mubai swiftly appeared where she was descending, catching her in his arms. However, Zhu Zhuqing had already been shaken unconscious, and even her arms were dislocated. Also suffering was Xiao Wu. Just as she kicked Zhao Wuji and was lifted by Tang San's blue silver grass, Zhao Wuji's attack was launched. Tang San's blue silver grass flying out from him also happened to entangle Zhao Wuji's body at this moment. In the intense golden light, all this became futile. Although Xiao Wu didn't have close contact like Zhu Zhuqing did, she was also sent flying. Whether it was the blue silver grass from Tang San's body that was close or not, anything within 3 meters of Zhao Wuji's body was all rebounded, with the ones in close proximity shattered. 3 groans almost sounded simultaneously. Zhu Zhuqing suffered the most damage, followed by Xiao Wu. The intense shockwave made Xiao Wu spurt out a mouthful of blood in midair, her whole body feeling numb and sore, falling directly into Tang San's arms. Although Tang San suffered the lightest injury, he was burning inside from the shock transmitted through the blue-silver grass. However, Xiao Wu's injury made it impossible for him to remain calm. What Zhao Wuji used was his first soul ring skill, the immovable Vajra body. Although it was a 100-year soul ring, the effect of the skill varied depending on the soul power used. With a level 76 soul power, this 100-year soul ring skill was effective enough. Combining offense and defense, it immediately broke the joint attack of Tang San and the others. This was strength, the true strength of a soul saint. Ning Rongrong was also anxious. At this moment, the incense had only burned a little over halfway, but her 7-treasure glazed tile pagoda provided various auxiliary attributes, excluding healing. With only 2 soul rings, the additional effects were limited, and her worry was futile. Zhao Wuji's speed suddenly increased, seemingly appearing in front of Tang San with just 1 step. His enormous palm lifted up, and his second soul ring lit up. With a hearty laugh, his palm, infused with soul power, instantly turned golden, doubling in size as it slammed towards Tang San. Xiao Wu was still in Tang San's arms at this moment. Naturally, Tang San couldn't let her take the blow for him. He hurriedly pulled her away, but this simple movement caused him to lose the chance to dodge. However, at this moment, Xiao Wu's second soul ring also lit up. Her eyes suddenly turned blood red as she stared straight at Zhao Wuji. Zhao Wuji felt dizzy in his brain. Taken aback, his palm naturally slowed down, and his soul power weakened by half. His eyes gleamed with gold. To think there's a mesmerizing type of soul skill. The red light in Xiao Wu's eyes and the golden light in Zhao Wuji's eyes met, and he couldn't even hum a sound, directly fainting in Tang San's arms. Blood flowed from her mouth and nose at the same time. Taking advantage of this slight relief, Tang San instinctively used Ghost Shadow Perplexing Step to evade Zhao Wuji's attack. However, Zhao Wuji's palm didn't actually strike. He didn't want to harm these children. Xiao Wu, Xiao Wu. Tang San called out anxiously several times, hurriedly channeling his internal energy into Xiao Wu's body. But Xiao Wu showed no response at all. Zhao Wuji didn't pursue further. Standing there, he said, "She's fine." Although the effect of the mesmerizing type soul skill is good, her soul power is far inferior to mine. She suffered from the backlash of her own soul power, resulting in this outcome. Just like how the toxicity on your blue silvergrass has no effect on me. Let her sleep for a night, and she'll recover when she wakes up. Turning his gaze to Ning Rongrong, Zhao Wuji smiled. "Yeah, I don't need to make another move, right? Little girl from the 7-treasure glazed tile school. You've lost. You guys are still too weak. You couldn't even hold on for the duration of an incense stick. This is the gap in strength." Holding the soft Xiao Wu, Tang San slowly raised his head. There was no emotion in his black eyes, but they were very deep. He turned with Xiao Wu in his arms, walking to Ning Rongrong. "Can I trouble you to take care of Xiao Wu for a while?" Ning Rongrong smiled faintly at Tang San. Tang San, we are comrades in arms. My father taught me since childhood not to abandon my comrades. We can leave together, it doesn't matter. We've already lost the test. The academies in the imperial capital will definitely not refuse us." Tang San looked at Zhu Zhuqing again. Although Zhu Zhuqing seemed to have no strength to speak, she was still supporting her own body and nodded to Tang San. Although today was the first time they met, the trust of their partners seemed to give Tang San unparalleled strength. Turning around again, facing Zhao Wuji, If I lose, then we'll leave together." Zhao Wuji looked at these children in front of him, liking them more and more as he looked. Laughing heartily, he said, Good, good. Let me see what hidden power you still have to resist my attacks." "As you wish." The third incense stick was lit again and placed on the ground. Tang San stood firmly in place, his whole body's power slowly gathering. At this point, he no longer had any intention of hiding his true strength. Xiao Wu's injury and coma had greatly stimulated his emotions, and his heart was filled with self-blame. As a brother who hadn't protected his sister well, if he couldn't seek justice for his sister, what right did he have to call himself a brother? Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing, although meeting for the first time, their trust made Tang San decide to show them his true strength. As for Dai Mubai, for some reason, Tang San always felt a sense of trust towards the young man who was stronger in soul power than himself. Tang San deeply remembered a sentence from the mysterious Heaven Skills outline. Never try to act like a tiger to devour a tiger, or you might really become a pig. Now he fully understood the meaning of this sentence. If they hadn't faced a teacher from Shrek Academy earlier, but instead an enemy, Xiao Wu might have had a hard time escaping unharmed. And if he didn't use his ultimate moves now, wouldn't he regret it for the rest of his life? So, Tang San decided not to hide anymore. He also wanted to see how strong he had become by facing Zhao Wuji, the still king of the movements. Without the additional power and speed from the 7-treasure glazed tile pagoda, Tang San clearly felt his body becoming slightly heavier. His arms trembled slightly to help his body adapt to the current state. Meanwhile, his hands gradually turned white like jade, and between his 10 fingers, there seemed to be a faint flow of energy. With his head slightly lowered, he made sure his opponent couldn't see his eyes, which had already turned completely purple. Zhao Wuji clearly felt a slight change in Tang San's aura. Although his soul power hadn't increased, for some reason, the strength of his spirit saint level made Zhao Wuji feel a hint of danger. A 29th level child could make him feel threatened? Zhao Wuji couldn't believe it. He activated his first soul ring skill, the Still King of the Movements, and walked confidently towards Tang San. His speed wasn't fast, but his steps were extremely steady, causing the ground to tremble slightly with each step. Teacher Zhao, be careful." Tang San suddenly raised his head, and a strong purple light burst out of his eyes. Seeing the purple light in Tang San's eyes, Zhao Wuji was startled, and his steps slowed down. After all, attacks relying on eye confusion were the most difficult to resist. He had almost suffered a loss when facing Xiao Wu earlier. However, Zhao Wuji soon discovered that the purple light in Tang San's eyes had no attacking effect. And in this momentary delay, Tang San's drooping hands floated up on both sides of his waist. Hissing sounds erupted as 10 cold lights burst out from between Tang San's fingers. They aimed at Zhao Wuji's eyes, shoulders, throat, heart, knees, lower body, and abdomen. The attacks of the 10 cold lights were all aimed at vital points, and each attack was different. The piercing sound made Zhao Wuji startled. Among all his abilities, agility was the one he was least proficient in. After his martial soul was activated, although his speed had increased, his huge body size, coupled with his remarkable defense, usually led him to choose to confront his opponents head-on. Facing the sudden and extremely accurate 10 cold lights, Zhao Wuji reacted quickly. He placed one paw above his eyes and the other below his lower body. With a low roar, his entire body burst out with soul power, fully activating his Still King of the Movements. After shooting out the 10 cold lights, Tang San's body didn't stop at all. He quickly retreated using Ghost Shadow Perplexing Track. Almost simultaneously, 10 loud bangs rang out. All 10 cold lights hit Zhao Wuji's body, but under the strong golden light, they were all bounced back, causing no harm to Zhao Wuji. Tang San was secretly surprised. It was important to note that he had shot out 10 penetrating nails, which were considered heavy among small hidden weapons. Coupled with his inner force and the piercing characteristics of the penetrating nails, they still couldn't inflict any damage on Zhao Wuji. It showed just how strong Zhao Wuji's defense was. Dai Mubai's claim that Zhao Wuji had no openings was not unfounded. Turning around, Tang San shot out more than 10 additional cold lights.
No openings?
A hint of coldness flashed in Tang San's eyes. In fact, his entire body was full of openings. Only by exploiting one of them could he find his opportunity. While retreating, Tang San's hands fluttered in front of him like butterflies among flowers, continuously shooting out one cold light after another. Each cold light targeted a vital position on Zhao Wuji's body. Zhao Wuji was even more surprised than Tang San. It was the first time he had encountered such an opponent. If the strengths of the two sides were equal, he knew he would lose. Tang San's hidden weapons were not only accurate, but they also attacked many different positions simultaneously, making it extremely difficult to evade. Leaf blades, flying stones, gold coins, and penetrating nails, all sorts of hidden weapons bloomed in Tang San's flurry of attacks. Some flew straight, some at an angle, and some circled around to the back. But their final target was always Zhao Wuji's body. Zhao Wuji keenly felt the strong penetrative power of these hidden weapons. If he didn't fully activate the still king of the movements, even he might get injured. However, after a quick confrontation, Zhao Wuji believed he had figured out the attacking power of Tang San's hidden weapons. Shining with the golden light of the still king of the movements, he strode confidently towards Tang San. Seeing Zhao Wuji charging towards him, his enormous great strength King Kong palm lifting once again, Tang San didn't panic at all. He quickly retreated while the blue-silver grass swiftly spread out, blocking Zhao Wuji's path. Although the tenacity of the blue-silver grass was not enough to stop Zhao Wuji, it could still delay him for a moment. Tang San constantly entangled Zhao Wuji's feet with the blue-silver grass, slowing down his speed while conserving his own energy as much as possible. With the blue-silver grass and ghost shadow perplexing track, although Tang San's absolute speed was not as fast as Zhao Wuji's, Zhao Wuji still couldn't catch up to him, and his great strength King Kong palm missed Tang San several times. After shooting out the first round of hidden weapons, Tang San didn't continue to attack with hidden weapons. Instead, he maneuvered around the battlefield, dodging Zhao Wuji's attacks. The reason Tang San chose to fight Zhao Wuji alone was twofold. First, he feared accidentally injuring others with his hidden weapons, and second, fighting alone allowed for greater maneuverability and no constraints. At this moment, the onlookers around them were wide-eyed, especially during the time when Tang San continuously launched hidden weapons. Their hearts were filled with amazement. Whether it was Zhu Zhuqing and Ning Rongrong or Dai Mubai, they couldn't help but shiver inwardly. They realized that if they were Zhao Wuji, they might have already been hit. Tang San's hidden weapons were diverse, and their flight paths were extremely elusive, making evasion extremely difficult. Even Ning Rongrong, who came from the Seven Treasure Glazed Tile clan and had broad knowledge, didn't know which family's attack method these hidden weapons belonged to. But she could completely feel the power of these hidden weapons. Unknowingly, the incense had already burned a third of its length. Zhao Wuji, who was chasing Tang San, suddenly stopped, laughing and scolding, "You little monkey, you're slippery enough. Trying to delay time like this? It's not that easy." Third Soul Ring Skill, Gravity Strengthening. The third soul ring on Zhao Wuji's body, a purple Millennium Soul Ring, suddenly enlarged. But instead of injecting its power into his body, it floated downward and directly rushed into the ground. Suddenly, Tang San felt as if his feet were sinking into mud, and his body became heavy, as if his weight had doubled. But Zhao Wuji clearly wasn't affected. He strode toward Tang San with a big smile on his face, as if to say, "Let's see where you can run now." What a formidable soul skill. Under the influence of gravity, Tang San's speed noticeably decreased. Although the ghost shadow perplexing track was exquisite enough, dodging Zhao Wuji's attacks under the influence of gravity was becoming difficult. Several times, he narrowly avoided Zhao Wuji's great strength King Kong palm. Zhao Wuji glanced at the incense burning on the side, which was now halfway consumed. He couldn't help feeling a bit anxious. As the prestigious still king of the movements, it was quite a struggle to deal with a 12-year-old child like this. If word of this got out to other teachers, wouldn't he become the subject of their ridicule? The child was indeed promising. However, it was time to end this test. With that thought, the fourth soul ring on Zhao Wuji's body lit up. Shimmering purple light radiated, and surprisingly, the fourth soul ring on Zhao Wuji's body flew out. It seemed to have eyes and chased after Tang San's body, directly enveloping him. What does this mean? Tang San's heart skipped a beat. But after the purple millennium halo wrapped around his body, he didn't feel any discomfort. Zhao Wuji laughed. It's time to end this. By forcing me to use 4 soul rings, you've earned the qualification to be accepted. As he spoke, he exerted force with his thick legs and jumped up from the ground. Tang San hurriedly shifted his position, but he was surprised to find that Zhao Wuji, who was jumping in midair, turned to follow his movements. He was still falling towards him. He didn't know that this was Zhao Wuji's 4th soul ring skill, position tracking. Once locked onto by his 4th soul ring, he could instantly close the distance with his opponent within 100 meters by using his leaping ability. This skill might not be useful for other cultivation methods of soul masters, but for strength-type Zhao Wuji, it was extremely effective. By instantly closing the distance with his opponent through position tracking, he could maximize his strength and attack. In order to end the battle as soon as possible, he decided to use this skill. A cold light flashed in Tang San's eyes. It seemed his plan had to be advanced. Seeing that he couldn't avoid Zhao Wuji's pounce, he stopped dodging. Just as Zhao Wuji was about to fall towards him, he immediately activated his 2nd soul ring skill, Parasite. When the blue-silver grass blocked Zhao Wuji's advance earlier, the seeds of Parasite had quietly hidden on Zhao Wuji's body. Now, they suddenly activated, and the blue-silver grass instantly wrapped around Zhao Wuji in midair. Tang San's timing for activating Parasite was just right, precisely when Zhao Wuji was about to land. This way, Zhao Wuji couldn't immediately launch an attack on him after landing. Tang San raised both hands simultaneously. With a clang, 6 cold lights spurted out from his sleeves, and sharp arrows with a thick mist shot towards Zhao Wuji's face. Although Zhao Wuji's defense was formidable, the sudden appearance of these powerful arrows startled him. He immediately activated his still king of the movements. With a loud bang, under the dispersing golden light, not only did he break free from the entanglement of the blue-silver grass, but he also deflected the 6 arrows aimed at him. What was Tang San best at? At least up to this point, it wasn't hand-thrown hidden weapons, but the mechanical hidden weapons he had studied in his previous life. The sudden barrage of arrows frightened Zhao Wuji, causing cold sweat to break out on his body. Although his still king of the movements deflected the arrows, the impact of the arrows caused a stinging sensation on his face, showing just how powerful the arrows were. He immediately used controlling crane capturing dragon. Utilizing the force generated by Zhao Wuji's still king of the movements, Tang San's body leaped backward once again, evading the palm strike from Zhao Wuji in midair. His biceps contracted, and a buzzing sound suddenly emanated from Tang San's chest. A burst of cold light shot out from his chest, taking the form of sharp steel needles with a dense mist, meeting Zhao Wuji's attack head-on. Tang San was a master of mechanical hidden weapons. His mechanical hidden weapons didn't require any switches. They could be activated simply by muscle contractions. They were truly unpredictable and difficult to defend against. The mist carrying the scent of tea caused Zhao Wuji's mind to spin for a moment, and his defense of the unmoving king's body naturally dropped by half. It was at this moment that Zhao Wuji keenly felt a sharp pain in his chest. When he lowered his head to look, He was horrified to find that the cluster of steel needles, shot out from Tang San's chest, had actually pierced through his defense of the unmoving king's body, and all lodged in his chest. The numbness and intense pain instantly transmitted, through Zhao Wujin's nerves to his brain. It's poisoned. Zhao Wujin was greatly shocked. He hurriedly activated his unmoving king's body again, forcibly shaking the steel needles out of his body. However, the poison had already entered his body, through the dual action of inhalation and blood circulation. The Tang sect not only possessed hidden weapons, but their poison was also exceptional. Although Tang San hadn't had many opportunities to collect poisons in recent years, he hadn't wasted the poison extracted from the fangs of that mandala snake. It was used on this hidden weapon attached to his chest, which played the greatest role at this critical moment. This hidden weapon on his chest, named Sand and Shadow, was one of the few hidden weapons on him capable of breaking through protective soul power. Of course, Zhao Wujin's defense with the unmoving king's body was too strong. The 64 steel needles shot out by Sand and Shadow could only barely pierce his skin. However, this was already enough. Although the speed of the mandala snake was not enough to render Zhao Wujin defenseless, it forced him to allocate some soul power to stop the spread of the poison. This gave Tang San greater breathing room. However, Zhao Wujin's pause did not allow Tang San to continue to escape. Instead, he rushed towards Zhao Wujin. 10 fingers simultaneously flicked out, and 10 faint golden lights flashed in the air. If you didn't look closely, you couldn't even detect their presence. As a master of hidden weapons, timing was naturally extremely important, and Tang San undoubtedly achieved this. The timing he chose was just when Zhao Wujin had just activated his unmoving king's body to shake the steel needles off, a moment of weakened defense. With the insight of the purple demon eyes, Tang San could not only see every move of his opponent clearly, but even the fluctuations of soul power around Zhao Wujin's body. Otherwise, how could he have found his opponent's flaws so accurately? This was the greatest function of the purple demon eyes. 10 golden lights forcibly penetrated the defense of the unmoving king's body and silently imprinted on Zhao Wujin's body, drilling in. Zhao Wujin only felt intense pain coming from several parts of his body simultaneously. Even with his strong nerves, he couldn't help but inhale a cold breath, and his whole body twitched with pain. You! Zhao Wujin was somewhat angry, a low roar coming from his mouth. The fifth soul ring, shining with deep black light, suddenly lit up. The intense roar made the entire Shrek Academy tremble. Tang San felt immense pressure coming from all directions, and his body uncontrollably rushed towards Zhao Wujin. The pressure from around his body seemed to crush his body, a force he couldn't resist. Zhao Wujin's powerful soul skill, the gravity crush of the Titan Great Ape martial soul. Was Tang San going to surrender just like this? Of course not. He suddenly lowered his head, accompanied by a crisp sound, and a 7-inch long crossbow bolt shot out from his back suddenly, directly towards Zhao Wujin's roaring mouth. Even in a situation where his body was already controlled by the opponent, he could maintain such precision, which was truly admirable. Tight back flower crossbow, medium-sized crossbow bolt. Fired by controlling the back muscles. Only one shot, but due to the large size of the crossbow bolt and its strong elastic force, its destructive power was extremely powerful among the mechanical hidden weapons. Far beyond what a sleeve arrow could compare to. At the same time, Tang San's 2 feet knocked against each other, and 3-inch-long blades protruded from the tips of his feet. One foot kicked towards Zhao Wujin's throat, while the other foot quietly kicked towards his lower abdomen. In such a disadvantageous situation, he could still make such attacking responses, which was definitely terrifying. The firing speed of the tight-back flower crossbow was extremely fast, and Zhao Wujin couldn't even raise his hands in time. The defense of the unmoving king's body was pierced by the powerful crossbow bolt, heading straight towards his mouth. In a critical moment, Zhao Wujin displayed his strong combat experience as a soul saint. Without panicking, he clenched his teeth and precisely caught the tight-back flower crossbow's crossbow bolt in his mouth. The impact force of the tight-back flower crossbow was extremely strong, and although Zhao Wujin caught it, his teeth were also loosened by the vibration. At the same time, a sweet fragrance entered his mouth from the crossbow bolt, causing his mind to spin for a moment. There was only one crossbow bolt in the tight-back flower crossbow. How could Tang San not make some adjustments to it? The crossbow bolt was hollow, storing a small amount of mandala snake venom inside. Once the arrow shaft penetrated the enemy's body and was squeezed, the venom would immediately shoot out. Although the crossbow bolt had not penetrated Zhao Wujin's body at this time, his teeth had provided enough squeezing force, and this mouthful of venom was naturally unceremoniously delivered to him. He spit. Zhao Wujin spat out the crossbow bolt, blocking Tang San's attack with his hands. At this moment, Tang San had already been squeezed in front of him. "Are you a hedgehog?" Zhao Wujin roared. However, because he had taken a bite of the mandala snake's venom, his tongue was a bit numb, and his speech was somewhat unclear. Even after coming to Shrek Academy, let alone in the past when he was mingling in the world of soul masters, he had never suffered such a big loss. For a moment, his eyes flickered with ferocity, about to erupt. However, Tang San's attack was not over yet. At some point, a hammer suddenly appeared in his left hand, a pitch-black hammer. After Zhao Wujin blocked his legs, Tang San's left-hand hammer smashed towards Zhao Wujin's face.